Alrighty. So, this is for the COVID test part. I apologize for my audio and all that stuff. Uh, if it bothers you, apologize. I just wanted to kind of help you um, with the whole new way they might be having you do your test. This is how they had me do it as of July 30th, 2020. North Fort Myers, DMV. So, if you have your learner's permit, you're going to need somebody with a valid driver's license. They're going to need proof of insurance and proof of ownership of the car, I believe. So they're going to need a valid driver's license and all that stuff. And you're going to need to make an appointment. I believe the best way to do is go on the website and make your appointment. They are going to... I'll walk you through the way they had it, the way they made me do it using Google Maps, because unfortunately I don't really want to drive over there because you never know. You could be doing your test and I could cause problems for you. So I won't do that. So hopefully they'll still be the same thing for you guys as well. They may change it. So this video, when you go do your test, don't be too disappointed if they've changed it up. But this is how they had it. This is how they did it for me. So with that being said, I will tell you. So there's stuff they're going to make you do. They're going to make you they're going to check and make sure you know your left turn signal and your right turn signal. They're going to make you honk your horn. They're going to make you hold your brakes down so that they can see that your brakes work by them being able to see that your brake lights turn on in the back of your car. They want you to have a clean car, so make sure that your car is clean inside, meaning there's no debris like garbage and stuff in the back seat or all over the front inside of the car. So make sure your car is clean. Like I said, somebody with a valid driver license is going to need to be in the car with you if you have your learner's permit. You will need a mask in order to go into the tax collector's office. And you'll have to stand outside if there's a long line. They will call your name. You need to show up to your appointment 15 minutes ahead of time. And trying to make sure I cover as much stuff as possible that I remember. They are going to take your learner's permit from you, and if you pass, you'll get your real driver's license. If you fail, then you'll get your learner's permit back, and you'll also have to pay. So whether you pass or fail, you will have to pay for the fee and all. Which I failed the first time, so it cost me like $28. I don't know how much it costs, so $28 is what it cost me for failing my first time. So when I went back and passed on the second try, and it cost me like $28 and stuff. So after you pass, you'll have to pay. If you fail, you'll have to pay. You're gonna go, depending on where you are parked in this parking lot. I was parked, I think, over here again, or maybe where that smart car is over here. And there was a gentleman who came out to the car and he asked me to get in the car, and the person with a valid driver's license, which was my girlfriend, she had to get in the car with me. And like I said, they ask you to show the turn signals, they ask you to beep the horn, and they ask you to apply the brakes so they can see that all that stuff works. You may need to use your windshield wipers if you go when it rains, so make sure you know how to use your windshield wipers if you go on a day when it's raining. So anyways, after that, they give you this device that actually goes inside the car with you, and that person, the instructor, will instruct you on what you do. So it's basically like a cell phone. It sits on like a cell phone mount, and the way it was for me is I just put it in the cup holder tray. The passenger can hold it. Just make sure that, I guess the best thing to do is make sure that the instructor can see the driver. So make sure that if your mom or whoever is in the car with you, make sure that the phone is looking at you, and the driver and the instructor can see you on the phone, because it has a camera and all that. Your passenger is not allowed to help you in any way with the test. So anything that he asks you, your passenger is not allowed to give you any advice at all or talk to you at all. With that being said, they are going to have you wherever you are in a parking lot, like I parked here. So he basically on a two-way radio told me to pull out and come out here, like the first video I did. And then I came out here, and then we went down to the stop sign, and he was actually over here standing, watching me, because the whole test for me was over here in this parking lot over here. So what he had me do was come out here. We basically stopped at this stop sign, which my mouse is not going to work too well. Stopped at the stop sign right here, and then I turned into this parking lot here, and we went into here, right? Because this is where your whole test, at least this is where the whole test was for me was at. These are an angled parking spot, which were perfect for me to pass my test, because I could park perfectly in an angled parking spot, whereas like a straight-in parking is kind of a little tricky for me. So they have cones set up out over here somewhere in this area. For me, they did, and you had to park between them perfectly without hitting the cones. If you hit the cones, you will fail your test. Just so you know. So don't hit the cones. Make sure you use your turn signals and all that stuff. Once I had parked, that was the first thing they made me do, was to park between the cones. And then once I parked between the cones, he had me back up the 50 feet to back up to about here where some cones were. And they told me to stop. And then he told me once I stopped, he said that he wanted me to do 20 miles an hour, and way up here were some cones as well. He wanted me to do 20 miles an hour and then come to a complete stop without slamming on the brakes, locking up the brakes, or causing any jerking of the car. Which I kind of did that sloppy. Oh, no, actually, no, I did good on that. The part that I was kind of really bad on was when he had me back up 50 feet. I was kind of like not straight backing up. I don't think that really made a big deal in my my test. And then the other thing is up in here, he told me that I had all this room up here to do my 3-point turn. So this whole area up here, I was allowed to do my whole 3-point turn. I would highly recommend that you ask them any questions you have. Just get permission, have them approve of you doing something before you do it. So even though he allowed me to do this, if they tell you to do a 3-point turn, ask them if you are allowed to use, if you do have this spot up here, ask them if they do have, if they have your permission, or if you have their permission, sorry, to use that parking space to do your 3-point turn before you do that. But he told me that I could, so my 3-point turn was perfect. After the 3-point turn was done, that was basically the end of the whole test. He told me to do was the turn was when I had did my 3-point turn. Once I had finished the 3-point turn, I was already facing back towards this way straight. So he told me to come back and to go park by the sheriff car is what he told me to do. So which was basically to come here, make a right, and then make a quick left, which is where I was parked at in this little area right here. You know, if you get one of these spots here, you should be good. But wherever you park at is where you'll start at. But he had me park down here by the sheriff, which was right here in his parking spot. It's kind of ironic that it seems like this parking spot is always available by the sheriff car. It's kind of ironic that there's always a parking spot almost every time. There's always a spot here. I almost think that they want to see if you would hit the cop car, but I don't know. Anyways, so that's basically the whole test as for COVID, uh, and the lobby has limited seating, so they are spacing people out, and but it's a little different from my other test. If you go back through my other videos, I did my other video I had did of the DMV test. It was a lot different. They wanted you to go to the stop sign and then go all the way up there to where that car is, and then make a right and go all the way around back to where the Home Depot is to do your test. They still might do that. There actually might be two different spots where they do the test, just to make that clear. One other thing that I want to let you know, though, that he did ask me is the up a hill questions and stuff. So take that in mind that you do practice if you're parked down a hill or parked up a hill questions, that you know them. I don't think they're an instant fail, but it's good to memorize that stuff so that you do know it, because they will ask you that question at some point in a test. So study those questions and whatnot. As far as anything else, they didn't really have me do any hand signals. They didn't ask me to do the defroster or any of that stuff. So, but that was basically all I had to do for the test, though. Feel free to leave any comments down there in the comments below if, they did something different in your test. I'd like to hear, what you had to do. Because I'm pretty sure they're likely going to change this up, with as things go on, they'll probably end up changing it around and stuff. And if COVID ever ends, this will probably go back to the way it was before, so it'll be an irrelevant video. But as of July 31st, 2020, that's the way the test was done. Anyways, that's it. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this video has helped you guys prepare for your driver's test. I wish you guys and ladies the best of luck in getting your driver's license. It is an amazing experience once you do finally get that, because you are finally free to go anywhere as you want to go.